Welcome to the real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. The real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. And now your hosts, Bill and Lee Howard.
Hello, and welcome. I know you like that one, didn't you? To the Real Ramblers. I'm Bill Howard. This is my brother Lee.
I'm Lee Howard.
And welcome back to the Ramblers, where we are today going to discuss part 2 of our Friday the 13th franchise discussion.
We talked about part 2 last time, though.
No, it's part 2 of our discussion.
Continuing, I got it.
We're going to be picking up at part 6.
6. Jason Lives.
Yeah, so let's just go right into it, shall we?
Yeah.
So this is 1986. So it's, again, only been 1 year.
Yeah,
and
it's so crazy that they're just like cranking them out so fucking fast.
I know, that's crazy. To think that you could do pre-production, film a movie, edit it, post-production, and put it out in a year. It's nuts. So Jason Lives.
Yep.
So this is continuing the story, again, of Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah, that's right. A new Tommy.
This time...
Not a murderer.
No, this time being played by Tom Matthews from Return of the Living Dead.
That's right. Yes. Fucking Horseshack.
Yeah, Horseshack, who's very subdued in it.
Yeah, for a little bit.
And basically, this is Friday the 13th, the story of bad choices. So Tommy's like, I've had it up to here with Jason, so I'm going to dig up his body, who's now buried and not doing anybody any harm.
Right.
I'm going to dig him up and kill him again. I'm going to burn him, make sure that he can never hurt anybody again, even though he's not hurting anybody right now.
Exactly.
That was his theory. And then in doing so, brought him back to life.
Yeah, you dumb asshole.
Way to go, Tommy Jarvis.
I know. It's like Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Like electricity. It's so dumb. But here's what I love.
It made total scientific sense.
Yeah, the science checks out.
Yeah.
I have reanimated so many corpses this way. What I love about this movie is that like it's
Neil deGrasse Tyson has been quoted as saying that this is the most scientifically accurate
he always
movie
picks movies apart. All the time. So for him to be like, it's scientifically possible to reanimate a corpse.
Exactly. Yeah.
Spot on impression. This movie is so self-aware and knows exactly what it is, and I fucking love that about it. Like it's so like it's like a comedy essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Like fucking Tommy's like, Jason belongs in hell, so I'm gonna be sure, or I'm gonna see he gets there. It's like he's there, guy. he's in a grave.
Dead.
Also, who made Jason's gravestone? That seems like a waste of taxpayers' money.
That's the first thing I said when Jay and I watched it. I'm like, who thought like we should properly bury Jason?
Yeah, how many people has he killed? 1 billion. We respect guys.
I'm pretty sure the
dead.
state would have just incinerated him and put a little jar on a shelf somewhere.
Like, oh, this is a nice corner of the grave. People might want to visit. I don't know.
It is funny that they did that. It's hilarious.
So zombie Jason now. It's hilarious. It fucking obviously makes zero sense.
And this is the first kind of like new look of Jason.
Yeah.
Where he's like a little more hulking and has, for some reason, lots of belt accessories.
Lots of belts.
One. Yeah.
It's
he's like
he has a fucking utility belt.
Knives and shit. And he's got a lot of stuff.
The James Bond style opening.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's
totally
like that's where it's like when I rewatch because I
slashes the machete and the blood comes down.
I forgot all about this. I was like, whoa, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like it's so they're not trying.
It's the first one to be like, that's right. This is the franchise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I love that shit about it.
Me too.
Tony Goldwyn pops up for a minute.
Yeah. Because he's really over the top and terrible in his little scene.
I think it was a thing where they tested it and people were like, this is great. We need more death. So I think that his scene was like a new addition.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if it's in this one where there's like that hitchhiking girl eating a fucking banana. Maybe that was in one of the other ones. That might have been an earlier one. I can't remember.
I don't remember,
but
I remember
so weird,
the scene.
But they were just like throwing this.
Yeah.
Either way, it was just like, we need more death throw. Like,
and she was annoying too.
Yeah. So,
and the movie also continues the trend of let's not show any gore happening to anybody.
That's right. It's very bloodless.
It's very
like gore.
It's very
compared.
Oh, they're dead, but we didn't see any of it. And then there's their body. Yeah.
Wasn't this the one too where he fucking pushes someone's face through like metal in like,
and it forms
and it
their
forms
face.
like outside of it's like that,
it's in an RV bathroom.
yeah. Like that wouldn't happen.
No.
They do that thing but again, it's a silly movie, but I hate in movies where they're like, go down to Cunningham Road and it's right next to Carpenter Town.
Yeah.
Go
the
drive
gas
down West
station is
Craven
Romero's.
Street. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, there was a
we get
lot
it.
of that.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
one,
mind that though.
it depends on what movie
It
it's
makes
in.
me happy. In a serious movie, it would be distracting. In a Friday the 13th movie, I'm like, that's
You're
cool.
like, of course. Yeah. This one fucking, like, it made me laugh so hard. At one point, the gravedigger guy looks straight into the camera and he's like, some people. And it's like, what is this movie? It's amazing. Like, and it's so funny and smart. There's like a part where he's talking to someone and he goes, what does he think? I'm a fart head? And then it cuts to a bunch of kids going, yeah! On the camp. There's actually kids at the camp in this one. For the first time, there's kids
for
at
the first
camp.
time, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, it's like that never happens. You never see kids in peril in these movies. So that was fucking. Did you have any other notes? I have a couple other notes, but go ahead and if you
No, I didn't. You've covered almost everything. That's what I wrote. Is that this one's crazy and the kids actually in the camp added a cool element.
There was one thing that made me laugh so fucking hard when all this chaos is happening. Jason's running around doing his thing, and two of the kids, the boys at the camp, I think they're hiding under a bed, and one of them looks at the other, and he's like, "So, what did you want to be when you grow up?"
Yeah, I know. I love
like,
that.
holy fuck, this movie's funny. I can't even believe that.
And the little girl picks up the machete at one point.
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
all bloody, and then the counselor just goes, "Oh, come on," and puts it
I
down.
know.
Somebody's just playing a prank.
It's a horror comedy. It's like, I think the only one in the series that it's just a straight up horror comedy,
Yeah.
like on purpose comedy. The fucking, we cannot.
because Tom Matthews is way over the top in it too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
almost as much as he was in Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, it's like, which is also very horror comedy.
Way more so, but yeah.
Oh yeah, much more so.
Yeah.
But this one was just like, I feel like I'll have to look at my ranking later at the end of this, but this one is like really, really high for me because it's so fun and again, knows what it is. It's not trying to be anything it's not. And of course, fucking Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
One of the greatest 80s rock songs.
Yep.
If you had to, this is an impossible question. I probably know who you'll go with. If you had to compare or pick a favorite between He's Back by Alice Cooper or Dream Warriors by Dokken.
Like, I mean, I'd have to pick He's Back out of loyalty to Alice, but it's a tough choice.
And I love that Alice was also in one of the Freddy movies. So Alice, he see, you don't have to choose. He bridges the two.
Yeah.
Song about this one, in this one.
Yeah.
Fucking we're all happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 is just a fucking super fun. His look is good in this one. I always thought Kane Hodder was Jason in this one, but it's not.
No, not till 7.
Next. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I always, for
Because the
whatever
guy kind
reason.
of acts Hodder-ish and he's bigger like Hodder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CJ Graham maybe is the guy that
That
plays
sounds
him.
right.
There's so many Jasons that I have a hard time remembering who's who. And like, 'cause some people are like, can easily pick out who their favorite Jason is, but it's hard for me to do that because I don't remember a lot of them. But anyway, so yeah, so that's fucking at the end of this one, they kind of kill him in a good way of drowning him sort of again and like chaining him up and cool.
And that whole scene was cool on the lake with the lake on fire. And,
very cool.
It was really neat.
This one's great.
Yeah. Then we jump 2 years again and go to part 7, The New Blood.
Right.
First appearance of Kane Hodder.
Yep. First.
And he did great. His physicality and it's great.
There's
the lumbering after people was cool and very intimidating.
Yeah, there's some stuff as we get into this one I want to touch on about that.
Okay.
They had it previously on.
So this one's about the girl who's a psychic.
Yes.
Lara Park Lincoln plays her. And she had, as a child, had been upset at her dad and collapsed a dock with him on it.
Yeah.
And killed him.
Because her dad is like straight up super abusive.
Oh yeah, super abusive. So now she's gone back there as part of therapy with her mom and her doctor, who is Terry Kaiser, who was the corpse in Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
And he's like, calm down, dude.
He's like, what is...
He's borderline abusive too.
Yeah, this movie is like, people look at it like it's like Carrie versus Jason.
Yeah.
Because she's telekinetic.
Yeah.
But it's like, what the fuck is this doctor's motivations? Like, what is he trying to get out of this? I don't understand.
It's never said, but I assume he wants to get famous off this case.
Right.
I assume he wants to write a book and become famous because he's very aggressive.
So aggressive.
Super aggressive towards her and her mom.
Yeah.
Like,
Abusive
I don't
also.
know why they hired him.
Seriously,
he's
yeah. At
horrible.
a certain point, the mom should be like, can you fuck off?
Yeah.
You're fired. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
This is abuse. It's funny even that it's like the girl, I can't remember what her, what's the, Tina? Is that what her name is? The
think it
psychic
was
girl?
Tina, yeah.
maybe? I'm going to call her Tina because I can't remember. I think it is.
Yeah.
You know, they go up to the lake, whatever, and she's just like, I miss daddy so much. And the mom's like, me too. And it's like, why? He was
Yeah.
like a horrible, abusive,
Yeah.
terrible person.
But some people are like that. Some people still,
I guess,
still love their
guess.
abusive dad.
And I was just like, there's fun elements to this, but also like not great elements because it's like, why did she think that her dad was like in the water still? You know, like because she accidentally raised Jason up or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's like he just died on the pier. Like, wouldn't his body? It's a lake. Who do you think the paramedics would have found him pretty easy? But yeah,
I think it was more of just an emotional thing.
Maybe
she's
yeah.
like, you know, why do people go back and leave flowers where somebody died at the side of the road? They're not there. Their body's not
I
there.
guess,
Their
that
spirit's
could be.
not going to hang out there.
Yeah, it's not like she was like, "Come forth from the waters, father."
Yeah. So I think it was more of an emotional thing.
Jason looks cool as fuck in this one.
Yeah, totally.
Like
cool.
he looks really great.
Yeah.
The sleeping bag in the tree is like such a classic moment that
Yeah.
people always fucking remember.
Yeah.
For me, like the fight in the movie is the best part of the whole movie. When she's fighting
Yeah, it's
Jason,
great.
like that shit's fucking great.
I really like that twist in this movie that they brought in that supernatural psychic
I like
element.
that too.
I think it's
for
really
the first
cool.
time. Like it's kind of crazy that it took 7 movies for
Yeah.
them to be like, wait, if like I guess Jason's only been supernatural for a movie now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's neat that they were like, yeah, if he can come back as a zombie, like fuck,
I think
we can
he
do
was
anything.
always kind of supernatural because, I mean, what was he doing under the water in the first one?
I mean,
was
I
he
guess
just hanging
that's
out
just
under
they were
the
just
water?
like,
Don't even worry about it, guys.
Yeah.
he didn't drown. Whoops a daisy. The mom was just
Yeah.
fucking cuckoo.
But I enjoy 7 a lot. I really like the plot. I
like,
dig it.
yeah, I'm 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
Because like I barely remember like any other characters in it.
Yeah.
Like they're that.
There
kind
was
of
the party house across the street from them. That's who the other
Right,
people were.
okay.
And then she kind of liked one of the guys there.
Right.
And there was another girl that liked him, so didn't like Tina.
Right.
And
Just jealous.
Yeah.
What I liked a lot in this, what I was going to say with Kane, is that because like his fucking mask breaks off
Yep.
into pieces, which was so cool. I love that. Her like tightening it. And
Yeah.
is that I feel like for the first time, well, probably because we can see his face, you can actually like see emotion in Jason.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't get that in the other movies because
course.
there's no emotion in the mask. He's just lumbering around.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can like see him look afraid and
Yeah.
you can see him like look super fucking pissed off and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, this is awesome, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty
it's
neat.
amazing that we actually get to see it's the most interesting Jason's I like ever been to me.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I love that part of it. Yeah, as a movie as a whole, it's not up there. It's maybe hovering around the middle.
Yeah.
Or so for me. But yeah, Kane is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like I love the physicality he brings to Jason.
Yeah, for sure.
And this one didn't have like a little stinger ending
No.
to it, which all the other ones, of course, did have
Yeah.
something. And then yeah, because they were just like, "Where's Jason?" And they just were like, "We took care of it.
Yeah.
Fucking did it. That's it." Yeah, that's 7. It's a
All
fine one, but yeah.
And then we jump 1 year again.
Jesus
They're very
Christ.
consistent. It's either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
There's not really huge gaps until later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 1 year, Jason Takes Manhattan. Big box office hit.
It was, yeah.
Cool marketing campaign. That I Love New York poster.
Oh, man,
ripped
classic,
open,
yeah.
which ended up getting taken down
Yeah.
because New York got pissed off about it.
Yeah. I
Which
know,
I don't
right?
know why they would, because any publicity is good publicity.
Right?
Why
Yeah.
would you complain about that?
Yeah.
So
And
dumb.
it's like New York's
But
not
it was
known for violence.
1989,
Yeah.
where everybody was like, I don't want to be associated with anything even remotely violent.
Yeah. Yeah. So come to New York where it's, you fucking won't get
Yeah,
mugged.
1989, terrifying.
Yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan is probably one of the most neutered
Very. It's
Friday the 13th. There's like almost no real violence in it.
no, it's a fucking, I mean, it's essentially.
The premise is cool. It's cool seeing Jason walk around the streets.
yeah, he's
instead of
barely in New York though. That's
No, I know he is.
yeah, like
But
that's,
when he does, it's cool.
like that's cool to finally have a different setting.
Yeah.
But it's like most of the movie is Jason on a boat.
Yeah.
in Vancouver for
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
100% Vancouver.
Yeah. Again, characters are not that memorable.
No.
But it's kind of fun, but it's a forgettable one.
There's
for
a
me.
Jason flashback in it, and it's like he doesn't have no deformities or anything. And I was like, what the fuck?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because it's like I'll skip through some of the notes I made.
Yeah.
He's reanimated because the boat anchor hits a power line underwater and reanimates him again.
Right. Again, scientifically accurate.
Of course. I wrote somehow this movie is boring.
It is kind of boring.
Yeah, the boxing scene was fucking great. Actually, I love that.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Yeah, so that was good. The guy actually is like knuckles were getting like real bloody because Kane Hodder was like, fucking give me all you got.
Right.
Because he could take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the final, or like the main girl in this, who also had that really creepy uncle, who's that actor who has been in 1,000 things. He's in The Black Hole, the Disney's The Black Hole. Shit, I forget his name. He's so like.
Keep talking and
yeah.
I'll look it up.
So it's like the thing with her is that her uncle, it's like, it's a school trip or a graduating trip on a boat that somehow also from Crystal Lake, it's just like a little lake, but it somehow also you can get that boat all the way to New York. I don't know. Maybe it's a land boat. Maybe it's got wheels on it. So her like little story thing is that doesn't make any sense. Like when she was a kid, there's a flashback and her shitty uncle who's with them on the boat now almost drowns her as a kid. He like chucks her in the fucking water, like terrible uncle for start. You gotta learn how to swim somehow, kid. Throws her in the water, and then she thinks she sees Jason under the water as a kid, or did see him or something. Like none of that made sense, and he just was a normal looking bald kid.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck what is happening here? Like, so it's like her kind of getting visions of Jason. Like, I guess that's how they're tying it.
Right.
I almost drowned as a kid. Jason did drown or not? ? Shrug. It's such a weird movie. It just felt like they had the premise, let's take him to the city. And then they're like, we'll figure out the rest as we shoot.
Right.
So,
I can't find that guy.
oh, okay.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, so yeah, they barely shot in New York. Oh yeah, there's that fucking weird scene where like he's in New York and the punks threaten Jason.
Yeah.
And he just like, it like Beetlejuice almost, just like takes off
Yeah.
his mask and to show his face. And they're all like, oh, boo, 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 and run away. It's like, you're Jason, kill them. Don't just
Yeah.
be like, hey guys,
It's too
check
bad
out
because this movie had so much potential.
It could
'Cause
have
if
been
the whole
great.
movie was Jason in New York, holy cow.
Can you imagine?
And if they would have treated it almost like there's a serial killer in New York and nobody knows who it is and it's Jason,
Yeah.
that would have been super
That would have been super cool. Yeah. It's funny because it's even like Jason is chasing the main people or whatever, like on the subway and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like there's 1,000 people around. It should have been a bloodbath. He should have
Yeah.
like, why is it like he cares?
It
just
should have been
about
like
them?
the bus scene in Texas Chainsaw, the newest
Yeah,
one.
seriously. It should have just been like
Yeah.
killing everybody.
That would have been amazing.
So that would have been like amazing.
I think it would have been a whole different movie if they made it now.
Yeah, they would have. Most of the movie would have been right in the city.
Yeah.
And actually like in
Which
maybe
would
New
have been
York
so
or whatever.
cool.
There's a part in the movie in a diner where there's a guy that's fighting Jason, and it's the guy who's a stuntman named Ken Kersinger who played Jason, ended up playing him in Freddy vs. Jason,
Oh, nice.
Vancouver.
Nice.
Also, we can't not talk about this real quick. So, as everyone knows,
I'm like, you're spending a lot of time on part 8.
I'm sorry, but we got to talk about this
for a
real
movie
quick.
that's not very good.
I know, well, the rest of them aren't.
Okay.
So every night, of course, everyone knows in New York, the sewers flood with toxic waste at midnight.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Of course.
And then, of course, the toxic waste drowns Jason. And then when it goes away, he's a human baby again.
Yeah.
WTF.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And I don't know. And it roars. And it's like, and then I wrote, this sucks. This movie sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what they
I
were.
just assumed that part was written by the people who wrote the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels.
Maybe like just like throwing shit out there.
Yeah.
So it's like it had great potential.
Yeah.
But it was just like I think this one is kind of on most people's like low.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Couple
not very
neat
good.
parts, but overall womp womp.
Yeah, we're getting into a lot of womp womp now.
I know.
So now we jump ahead 4 years to
4 years.
1993 to Jason Goes to Hell.
New Line Cinema.
Yeah. I assume it's going to be a lot of you talking in these ones because I
No,
really
well, I
don't
mean,
have
what do
much.
you have to say?
No, I
Like-
mean, I don't have much to say about these because I just think they're terrible.
Yeah, they are. But give me your like what anything you wrote down first, and then
I wrote bad, cyborg, silly
for the last.
for Goes to Hell.
He's
just
not a
didn't-
cyborg in this one.
Oh, no, sorry. That was for the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
it's-
I just didn't like anything about Goes to Hell.
like the opening was a kind of a neat thing in this one because it was like that bait and switch where the woman shows up at Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And it's all that typical thing like, oh, gets in the shower, boobies, hooray. And then it's like, oh my God, it's a fucking SWAT team, thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is kind of neat. Like real world, like a SWAT team shows up.
Right.
And then they fucking blow Jason up, actually blow him up. And it's like, what? And I wrote, Jason is grunting when he's getting shot. And I wrote, because he was making those noises. So this movie, for whatever reason, part 9, they decided to throw in all this goofy lore and backstory stuff that was never talked about, hinted at, mentioned.
Yeah.
And it's a body swap movie because they bring Jason's body parts to a coroner and his big, giant, weird black heart starts beating and the coroner gets like hypnotized by it and then eats it. And then all these lights fly around him and now he's possessed by Jason. He's possessed.
So this
by
is like
Jason.
the shocker.
Yeah, seriously. Because the only time you see really Jason throughout most of the movie is like in the reflection of whoever he's possessed.
Yeah.
There's Kane Hodder plays like a security guy in this too.
Yeah.
Because it's like he fucking barely got to play Jason. Yeah, there's that guy, Duke, who fucking was in like a lot of 80s sitcoms, the black dude with the cool mustache. And he's like he got a long coat and a hat in this one.
Right.
And he's like, I've been chasing Jason for years. It's like, who are you again, sir? And he's like, well, I'm Duke. And then I don't even remember what this refers to, but I wrote, Duke is gross. And then in quotes, she had a taste of the Duke. What yucky, man. And it's like, yeah, he just knows all this weird lore. And it's like they introduce, and Tommy Jarvis is back in this one again, played by the guy who was on the Friday the 13th TV series.
Right.
Which had nothing to do with Jason.
Right.
And they introduced this whole thing where it's like Jason can only be killed with this magical dagger
By relatives.
by a Voorhees relative. And
Yeah.
Aaron Gray is in it, who was on Silver Spoons of the 80s. And
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers, I was going to say Battlestar. Yeah, Buck Rogers. Yeah, so it's all this goofy lore. They threw in like a funny little Easter egg when they're walking around the old Voorhees house, which is also not a thing.
Yeah.
And fucking Tommy picks up the Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
Right.
Which made people go like, oh, Jason's a Deadite.
Right.
Like they're linked. It's real. But I think obviously it was just waka waka.
Yeah.
And then of course the fucking thing at the very end of the movie that everyone shit their pants over at the time was Freddy's glove coming out of the ground, grabbing Jason's mask, because that's the thing everybody wanted to see since forever.
Yeah.
And that was Kane Hodder's hand. So he's like, technically I've played Jason and Freddy.
Yeah.
This movie was a giant question mark. I don't understand why they made any choice.
I won't even give this or the next one the time of day.
Oh my God. The only notes I wrote about Jason, I just wrote a couple notes.
Okay. We'll just breeze over that.
Very breezy.
Because I don't want to spend time on it.
No. They knew exactly what they were making.
So
when
2001, big time jump.
Big time jump. Yeah.
Jason X.
Yeah.
Jason in Space.
Number 10. Yeah. They knew exactly what kind of movie they were making when they made this. They knew it was a dumb fucking whatever. It is. David Cronenberg's in the beginning, which is neat because David Cronenberg's great. And he's like, I'll only do it if Jason kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote, it's really fucking dumb, but it has funny parts.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't have a lot of rewatchability.
No.
This doesn't have a lot of rewatchability for me.
No.
Do you like what Uber Jason looks like?
No.
It's so goofy. It's ridiculous.
I don't like anything about this one.
Yeah. So I don't like it really either. It's fun and
it's funny that some people are like, oh, I love that sleeping bag scene with Jason from Jason X. And it's like, no, that's not where it first.
yeah, I mean it was in the this one was more.
Yeah, it was more of it.
But
Because it was 2, right?
Yeah. It was like goofy. It felt like a Canadian TV show.
Yeah.
Like
was bad.
it's an episode of Andromeda or one of those fucking Stargate
Terrible.
shows.
Terrible.
So that was that for like the Jason movies.
Yeah.
However,
And then in 2003, they finally gave fans what they wanted. With Freddy versus
And
Jason.
I think we talked about that in our Elm Street episode.
I think so.
Just real quick, Jay's making the same face that I think we are all making.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it.
No,
I don't think there's anything redeeming about it at all.
No.
It doesn't do anything for me.
No.
Freddy's makeup looked cool, I guess. That's about it.
Yeah. And Jason was probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah. Like he looked cool. Like
he looked cool.
It should have been Kane. I get that. And they promised it to him and then fucking didn't. And that sucks.
But he was like the only cool part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like him himself.
Yep.
But
there's
the movie,
actors in it that I like. That's the funny thing. There's a lot of actors I really like in it.
Yeah.
But as a movie, I just don't think it can work.
No.
You know, like trying to meld these two worlds. It's too.
I agree.
So yeah. However.
Yeah. We only got a bit of time left, but I want to spend it on something that's worth
That we
spending
like.
it
Yeah,
on.
I'm done with that.
So 2009, we jump ahead 6 years, and they decide to remake it, and it was Platinum Dunes again,
Platinum
right?
Dunes,
who did the
Texas
Chainsaw
Same
remake,
director.
which was beautiful.
Yep.
Marcus Nispel directing.
Yep.
So they're revamping the whole thing with a remake, and I, for one, fucking love the.
I love this movie.
Me
This
too.
might even be controversial. My favorite Friday the 13th movie
Yeah,
out
maybe.
of all of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on what you put into context and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I like some of the originals and stuff for the time they were from and everything. But just as a movie, yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably my favorite.
It's the one that has the most rewatchability for me and stuff.
Great cast of good actors.
Great actors.
Jared Padalecki, Daniel Panabaker, Amanda Rigetti, Derek Mears playing Jason, who was fantastic.
Yep.
Smart that the filmmakers were like, let's put a little of everything in it. So we're
Yes.
going to give him Baghead,
Yep.
and we're going to give him hockey mask,
Yep.
and we're going to bring back that kind of hunter.
Oh
that you
man,
saw
I
from
love
part
that.
two.
He's so threatening in this one,
Yeah.
which I love. Like
Yeah.
he's scary in this one.
Terrifying.
Yeah, this movie has everything a Friday the 13th movie should have. Like it has a cabin.
Yeah.
It has like they do go into like the old Crystal Lake
Yeah.
or whatever. There's youths like doing drugs and partying.
And having sex.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Also, two of the funniest lines ever that an actor has had to say, and he talks about it in the documentary
Okay.
with quote, "Your tits are stupendous."
Yeah.
And you have perfect nipple placement, baby. Amazing.
Nice.
So it's like it's got really funny characters too.
Yep.
It has the longest like kind of cold opening ever. Like the title Friday the 13th doesn't pop up till like 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And I loved that whole opening. It
was great.
It was fucking great.
yeah.
Yeah, Derek Mears is I like him as much as Kane.
Yeah. Same.
He's also like the nicest fucking human ever because
Yeah.
I met him forever ago and he's just like the most gentle, like 7 foot tall, nice, soft spoken man.
Yeah.
He's great.
The look of Jason was awesome.
I love his look. I don't know why it didn't do better. That's the kind of sorry, can I one more thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
The opening where they had the flashback with Mrs. Voorhees
Yep.
was fucking great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it's I always thought her name was Nana Visitor. It's pronounced Nana. But she's from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which I fucking love.
Right.
And even though she was only in it for like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
she was such a fucking good Pamela Voorhees. Her
Yeah.
voice was perfect and
She was
everything.
great.
So it's like I just wanted to just like because I know she's a listener, but I love that they even like put that in there to show some of the backstory.
And I love when somebody has to take over an iconic role and puts in the work to
Totally.
make it authentic.
Yep. So it's like I'm sure she had one day of filming and she fucking killed it.
Nah, nailed it.
I'm perplexed as to why it didn't do better because it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's amazing. Well, I mean, it's definitely found its audience since.
for sure.
I just got the new Arrow 4K of it,
Oh,
which I'll show you after we record
Okay.
this. The art on it's beautiful.
ooh,
And
nice.
yeah, it was amazing throughout. And it's astounded me that was in 2009.
Yeah,
And we haven't seen a Friday the 13th movie
I
since.
know. It's
What
really
the
crazy.
fuck?
I don't know
Like,
what I know. That,
How does some greedy executive out there not be like, let's do it?
Yeah.
Like Friday the 13th, it's going to do well.
and how many times now? Like they were so close with the show.
I don't think it bombed in the theater. It just wasn't a huge hit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it bombed.
I
could be
don't know.
wrong, but I don't think it did.
I don't know how much it made or whatever, but it's funny because it's like obviously the Texas Chainsaw, which was fucking great. I love that
Yeah.
remake. Did well enough that they made the prequel one. So it made another one.
Yep.
So and it's like same director. So I'm as the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
So it's like and it had
Which
that,
I love that
It
dude.
looked
Marcus Nispel's visual style is
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
It's
I
very
love it.
grungy
Yeah.
and scary.
I
like,
love how the Friday movie looked. It was
Yeah.
incredible. The kills were fucking great.
they were great. And it was
well.
kind of really the return of Friday the 13th gore since 1984.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was really back to like, let's show you.
Totally.
the shit.
Like killing Willa Ford under the dock with the machete.
Yeah.
And like that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was
Just
awesome.
it was great. I just
So it
like have
did
no complaints.
Friday the 13th, 2009, just looked it up on Box Office Mojo. Worldwide, it did 91 million.
Okay.
So it was almost a $100 million movie.
wow.
So
And
it
then they
actually
didn't make
did pretty
another
good.
one. Wow.
Did 65 domestic and 26 international. That's
Huh.
for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
why.
it didn't bomb.
And like I said, they were this close to getting that TV show, and then it fell apart again for whatever reason. The
Camp
series.
Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And I know I keep reading like 1 week I hear it's dead, the next week I hear it's back up.
Yeah. Like Jason.
I really hope they go ahead with it. 'Cause
I would love
to see
Yeah,
it.
a series would be really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would love it to kind of just feel like the remake or like some of the older movies and stuff. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot to explore
There's
there.
so much you could do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's crazy to me that it has been this long that there's been no Jason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just I'm glad that the remake gets the love that I think it deserves.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that didn't like it. I don't think, you know,
Yeah,
maybe it's
same.
not some people's favorites, but
Yeah, I don't remember ever really hearing that somebody thought it sucked.
yeah,
I don't really hear that about it.
yeah. Because even when it came
I
out, I
love
think some people were like, yeah, it's good. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I don't
Just
know.
everything was great. My real quick ranking, I think this is my ranking, but
yeah,
I'm sure it'll-
interesting. I'd like to. I didn't rank them, but I'd like to hear yours.
So this ranking doesn't include the remake. This was just the originals.
Okay.
But even looking at them now, I'm like, I'd rearrange some stuff. I think my top, I think 6 was my favorite just because of
Okay.
how fun it was. I think it goes 6, 2, 4, maybe 1, 7, 3, 10, 5, 8, 9.
That's pretty close to what I
Yeah.
have. I think I'd probably have the 2 and 1 a little higher than 6,
Yeah.
but it's pretty close to what I would think of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mostly kind of just gauged it by how enjoyable it was to
Yeah.
rewatch it, how much fun I had with it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're not looking at these as like cinematic, like, oh, the lighting in this wasn't
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's a fucking Jason movie.
Yeah.
Maybe some
Either
stuff
way,
would
it's
switch around.
October, so if you're out there and
Yeah.
that's one of the you're looking for stuff to watch, revisit some of these because
Yeah.
there's some real gems in the Friday the 13th franchise.
Totally, yeah. Let us
And
know
it-
like
and
your
it's-
favorite and your least.
Yeah. And I don't think even, I don't know. I was going to say, I don't think the worst Friday the 13th got as bad as the worst Nightmare on Elm Street, but I think
I don't
it's
know.
pretty close.
Well, it's hard because it's nostalgia, right? Like the
Yeah.
nostalgia trap. Like
Yeah,
Freddy's Dead for me is the worst Freddy movie.
It's horrible.
But I'm like, I'd still rather watch that over like Jason Goes to Hell.
Actually, I think you got me there. Yeah. I'd put them on the same plane.
It's pretty.
Anyway.
Even
Well, there you go.
Steven,
That's
yeah.
our wrap up of Friday the 13th franchise.
Yeah.
But by all means, revisit them. And I mean, give the remake a chance again, folks, and revisit
Absolutely.
it because I think it's better on repeat viewings.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's super fun.
yeah. All right, cool.
Do you have any
Well,
Rex
thanks.
or anything? We kind of covered Rex
yeah,
with
we-
our last thing. Like we talked about a lot of stuff that we've seen.
Yeah, because I mean, I had stuff like Rebel Ridge and Bike Riders and Arcadian, and we kind of covered that in our wrap up.
Yeah.
So
maybe
which
we
may
just
or
don't
may
have-
not have aired by the time you hear this.
True.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have a recommendation for this.
Yeah. That's fine.
Go back and watch Friday the 13th remake. There's
There you
my
go. That's our
recommendation.
rec.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Cool.
Hey, fucking Seth Rogen, what do you think about the Real
no.
Ramblers?
Ah, it's fucking great. Podcast.
I lost it in the end. I mean, Seth Rogen did. Thanks for coming, Seth Rogen.
Hey, can I use your bathroom to do weed?
Why does
No.
that? It sounds like somebody else, and I can't.
Yeah.
It does
It's
sound like
Kermit.
a Muppet. Oh my god! All
Hey,
right.
can I use your bathroom to do weed?
Kermit.
All right. See you next week, folks.
It's funnier when they fall apart.
Thanks for listening to The Real Ramblers. Follow us on Instagram at Real Ramblers. That's REEL Ramblers. And you can follow Lee at Lee Howard _art and Bill at JustTheBill1138.